I got rich when I understood this. Charlie Munger's advice. Hey guys, today we're going to talk about I got rich when I understood this. Charlie Munger's advice. Let's get right into it. Charlie is a legend in the investing world. Here's what he learned about how to get rich, his investing strategy, and his path to becoming a billionaire. Otis Booth, a client Munger worked with in the 1950s, asked him to assist him with a probate settlement property in 1961. Munger advised him to keep and develop the property. Munger made a 400% profit on their $200,000 investment when they sold the development in 1967. Munger worked in this industry for several years before earning his first $1 million. By 1970, Charlie had amassed $1 million. Munger then established his own investment firm, which he ran from 1962 to 1975. He demonstrated his investment abilities by generating average annual returns of 19%, outperforming the Dow Jones Industrial Average, which averaged less than 5%. As each business deal and investment paid off, Munger continued to reinvest and compound his capital. Munger owned 2% of Berkshire Hathaway's total outstanding stock when it reorganized in the early 1980s, with an average cost basis of around $40 per share. Each share is now worth more than $400,000 today. Over 99% of Charlie Munger's fortune stemmed from his early purchases, large size, and long holding period for Berkshire Hathaway shares. Charlie's family net worth is made up of 90% or more Berkshire shares. But what kind of principles does Charlie possess? First is identifying the wisdom and circle of confidence. Determine your circle of competence, and whenever possible, use your knowledge to avoid things you don't understand. There are no points for difficulty at work or in life. Avoiding stupidity is easier than seeking brilliance. Of course, this principle is related to another of Munger's sayings. People are trying to be smart. All I'm trying to do is not be idiotic. But it's harder than most people think. And this reminds me of perhaps my favorite Mungerism of all time. The quote that sits right beside my desk. He then said, "It is remarkable how much long-term advantage people like us have gotten by trying to be consistently not stupid instead of trying to be very intelligent." He also tries to understand the fake knowledge. Charlie once said, "Smart people aren't exempt from professional disasters from overconfidence. We've become so accustomed to delegating our thinking that we've forgotten what it's like to truly comprehend something from all angles. We'd forgotten how much work that entails. The path of least resistance, on the other hand, is only a click away." Fake knowledge obtained from reading headlines and skimming the news appears to be harmless, but it is not. It causes us to be overconfident. It's better to remember a simple rule. Anything you find quickly on Google or Twitter is likely to be widely known and should not be given undue weight. However, Munger adds, if people weren't wrong so often, we wouldn't be so rich. He also understands the craft of sitting quietly, echoing Pascal, who said some version of all of humanity's problems stem from man's inability to sit quietly in a room alone. Munger adds an investing twist. It's waiting that helps you as an investor, and a lot of people just can't stand to wait. Many of us struggle with the ability to be alone with our thoughts and turn ideas over and over without succumbing to the do something syndrome. Holding your ground and waiting for more information is a perfectly reasonable option. He also understands maximization and minimization. He once said, "In business, we often find that the winning system goes almost ridiculously far in maximizing and/or minimizing one or a few variables, like the discount warehouses of Costco. Nothing is a priority when everything is a priority. Trying to maximize competing variables is a sure way to fail. Choosing one variable and focusing relentlessly on it, which is an effective strategy, deviates from the norm." It's difficult to compete with companies that have correctly identified the variables to maximize or minimize. When you concentrate on one variable, you increase your chances of being quick and nimble and able to respond to changes in the terrain. He also understands the concept of map and terrain. He once said, "At Berkshire there has never been a master plan. Anyone who wanted to do it, we fired because it takes on a life of its own and doesn't cover new reality. We want people taking into account new information. Plans are maps to which we become attached. We're most likely to stick to a plan once we've told everyone about it and what it is, especially if it's a multi-year plan, because changing it would be admitting we were wrong. This makes it more difficult for us to change our strategies when we need to, so we're putting ourselves at a disadvantage. Detailed 5-year plans that are clearly wrong are just as bad as overly general 5-year plans that are never wrong. Scrap the plan. Isolate the key variables that need to be maximized and minimized, and follow Henry Singleton's and Buffett's and Munger's agile path. Finally, he takes one step forward at a time. He said, Spend each day trying to be a little wiser than you were when you woke up. Discharge your duties faithfully and well. Slug it out 1 inch at a time, day by day. At the end of the day, if you live long enough, most people get what they deserve. A methodical approach to life is reminiscent of the nature of compounding. There will always be someone faster than you, but you can use the Darwinian guide to outperform your natural IQ. This approach requires a long time axis, as well as continuous incremental progress to be effective. That's all for today, and we'll be sure to catch you all in the next one.